Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, coming to you today from Down Under, and it is Pink Fresh Friday. It's that time of the month again where we're revealing layouts made with Pink Fresh products, and here is my layout today. And as you can see, it's of my three girls, and I'm using these wonderful papers for the photo of them a few years ago. So let's get started. These are the papers that I've chosen, and they are just simply stunning, as you can see, and they come from the Picture Perfect range, and I'm using them today to create this layout. So I'm using both sides of this piece of paper here, and I'm going to use this one here as my mat, my background. So they are bright, they're colourful and they're cheerful, and I'm using white to be my complementary colour today. So I've gone and used a 1-inch border of the white, and that's created my background for this layout. And I'm now using this punch with the doily holes to create two borders that I'm going to use across the top and bottom of my feature. Once I've done that, I'm going to cut out two of the striped papers to add into this feature, and I'm using them with the stripes to complement. I went ahead and I cut out 2.5-inch circles using my 2-punch, and I've then used a board of chipboard that is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 to fold my squares from the circles. So as you can see, the circles have folded over and they now are squares. And I'm just lining them up across the page, and I'm just getting the measurements correct. Once I've got that first row in, it's a matter of just building up around with the circles, which are now squares. And I'm just moving them around and changing the patterns up. Now I could put the circles or the squares all the way across the page and fill it all the way up, but there's no need to if you plan ahead and use the strips and your photos accordingly. So I've taken out that little quote, which is really relevant to this photo, and I'm one short, so I'm just folding up one more, as you can see. And the quote is very relevant for my daughters. It says, "Grateful for the big things, little things, and everything in between." So I've just laid down my strips here to finish off the top and the bottom of my layout, which looks like a framing situation with these squares, and it just adds that little bit extra to the layout. I've decided that I'm going to mount this quote just a little bit more, and I'm using the white, which then ties it all together, and it adds a little bit more dimension. Because it's sitting up on those squares, I'm going to pop that up, and I'm going to tuck the photo in underneath so that that adds the dimension. I have double mounted the photo. I've done a white first mount, and then I've used the pattern paper in behind for my second mounting. And I'm just pushing down the edges of those circles so that you can see the flower picking up in the design. I found some chipboard that says Family Love, and I coloured it up with some distress inks in the sprays. One is weathered wood and the other one is spun sugar, and then I've just gone over the top with a little bit of blue to give it a blue tinge. I went and fussy cut the flowers out of that extra piece of paper, and I'm now just layering them up. I used foam tape to pop some, and I'm just gluing some flat as well, and that gives that added dimension and layering to it. And it's a cold day here in Sydney, Australia, where it is making the glue a little bit more difficult to work with. So I layer in some extra leaving, and the leaves are just padding out the clusters so that they become fuller and highlight those flowers just a little bit more off that background. But as you can see, it's quite a simple layout. It's got 3 clusters to it. It's got a quote, it's got a title, and the photo. The most difficult part was just folding the circles into the squares. And like I said, if you use that little chipboard square to help you, it's actually quite an easy tuck fold. So that's how the layout has come together. You can see that it wasn't quite that difficult. It was just fiddly at times, and just going back and making sure that those circle folds are nice and clean so that they sit flat against the layout. And there you can see I have my top frame and my bottom frame that match. I have my clusters in place and that title, and it just all ties beautifully together. This is my girls from about 2019, and they were reenacting a photo that we'd taken when they were little. So I love how this has come together. The colours are all complementary, and this is a great pink fresh layout. So hopefully something here inspired you, something you can see that you would like to try. If so, give me a thumbs up, and it lets YouTube know that you like Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap Down Under, and you want to see more of my videos on YouTube. Thank you to all those who subscribe and return, and if you haven't yet already, maybe you'd like to think about doing so. Leave me a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, I'm on Instagram, Kathy Loves to Scrap, and you can find all my layouts, even those that don't have a video, and I'd love for you to follow me. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping. See you next time.